Dear colleagues, we continue our working day, and I give the floor to Vadym Skybytskyi, Ministry of Defense of Ukraine, Chief Intelligence Department. Topic: current situation and tendencies on the temporary occupied areas of Donetsk and Luhansk regions. Good afternoon, everyone. Dear ladies and gentlemen, in Chief Intelligence Department, we prepared assessment of the situation and assessed the situation in the occupied regions of Donetsk and Luhansk Oblast. The situation in the east of Ukraine as of today is difficult and remains trends to the worsening. And it is the result of the active military provocations and also some preparations of militants in the territory of Ukraine. And also some information is disseminated about some advances against ATO forces from the side of the militants. And as to the assessment of our department, the situation is characterized by operative and military training according to the plans, and also use of drones, and also the provision of oil and fuels and equipment, and also preparation of preparation to elections in these regions. Despite negotiations and all the means to stabilize the situation in the east of Ukraine, shellings of ATO forces continue along the line of contact. The most difficult situation is observed in the Donetsk area. During the week, the militants delivered 385 shellings of Ukrainian positions with the use of, including the use of mortars. Also, we got information on the death and injuries of Russian Federation officers on the territory of the east of Ukraine. And yesterday, because of bad coordination, 6 died and 12 were injured. These were Russian servicemen. Their bodies were brought to Donetsk Oblast Hospital. Also, the information is confirmed on the prevention of actions in the territory that was occupied, that some the representatives of the mission were prevented from attending the first corps near Vadym and Peshevik. And also, according to the intelligence department, from 5 to 11 of February, there were 33 instances of finding the equipment that should be withdrawn. In 15 kilometers, that is the zone for the withdrawal of artillery systems of 100mm caliber. 6 violations of agreements were observed. There were there were tanks and mortars, and those is Donetsk, Zorinka, Nakivka, Poleve, Kirova Balka, and in a 25-kilometer zone, 11 violations. 18 artillery systems were observed. Also in 70 kilometers, for the first time in the last months, there was a fact of two reactive systems, Smerch, near Kursiv. And also this information was given to the JCCC in order to document it and to fix it in a proper way in the documents. And also, according to the enemy continues training of first and second corps in the framework of the training of Russian Federation forces, starting from 8th of February. The check was carried out in the Russian Federation forces. They continued training of first and second military corps, and the main attention is paid to advance and counter-advance actions. Also, the divisions of the first corps during this training, they were trained in firing and also they were trained to advance in to the region of the Azov Sea, and also they try to find weak places in our defense, and drones are used for this, and they violate airspace of Ukraine, and these launches of such drones are effected from the territory of Russia. And you may see on this in these photos the pictures of deployment of military equipment in Mospina, and it shows that there are heavy weapons in the occupied territories of Ukraine. And also the Chief Intelligence Department found some facts that Russia bring ammunition and oil and fuels and equipment, brought this equipment to the territory of Ukraine. And state border is not under control of Ukraine. They provide equipment and oil and fuels to the occupied territories. Through Dovzhansky, more than 33 trucks brought equipment into Lugansk, Krasny Luch, Alchevsk, and Stakhanov, and this was done on the 6th of February. And also through the state border in the region of Chervony Zhovteny, there was a column of military equipment. It was on the 8th of February, and via the railway from the week that passed, they brought 3 echelons to Rostov-on-Don, Ilovaisk, that brought APCs, artillery equipment, military vehicles, and more than 300 tons of munitions and fuel materials. And we also found some echelons on the road Rostov-on-Don, Kharkiv, that brought about 250 tons of shells and also anti-tank equipment. Also, military echelons use the route Kamensk-Shakhtinsky to Lugansk, and they bring ammunition and oil and fuels. So Russian Federation increased the stores of ammunition and military equipment. They carry out active preparation for further military actions. Other aspects I wanted to draw your attention to. These are the officers that are included in the first and the second military corps. They don't have enough in tactical groups. These are commanders of squads and commanders of companies, and that's why they decided to open military chairs at the universities to train new officers. And in the case of need, these people will be conscripted, and they will take part in the military actions in the occupied regions. I want to note that the militants use everything possible in order to enforce their intelligence services, and according to the decision of the People's Council of the DPR, all the residents of other countries, citizens of other countries, they should be registered, and everything is directed to fully control all the movement of citizens of Ukraine and foreign citizens in the territory of occupied regions. Russian leadership continue to provide propaganda in these regions, and the center of the Russian military center of Russian Federation through local media disseminate disinformation about that in Granitne there are some terrorists, and also that American instructors are included in the training of Ukrainian servicemen in Severodonetsk. And with the approach of elections in People's Republics, the leadership of self-proclaimed republics continue to enforce propaganda in order to discredit leadership of Ukraine and law enforcement bodies and armed forces of Ukraine. And I'm ready now to answer your question. Thank you, Vadym. And now I give the floor to those who ask questions.
Profiluk Union, the intelligence department is saying that the militants increase the ammunition number. Is it a real stress, or is it a permanent condition of the militant troop? This is a real threat, because those stores, those inventories which they have on the occupied territory of Ukraine, they can ensure conducting offensive operations and further increase in the number of supplies, which happened at the end of January, beginning of February. What for do they need so much ammunition and shells? Then says that they are involved in training, but the number increased. When you told about the completing with HR, was it about Russian army or about Donetsk People's Republic army? As concerned mobilization and conscription, they will be conscripts to the 1st and 2nd Corps of Russian army. We think that just this Russian Federation Corps are used in combats in Ukraine. As concerns the second question, the persons who died and wounded in Ukraine, they died from their own militants groups' fire. This was not because of Ukrainian army firing. Thank you, Mr. Vadym. That's the end of this press briefing.